Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. We have new details about the $2 trillion infrastructure package from President Biden, and already we're starting to see some early reactions from the business community. Welcome to our channel everyone. Let's just jump right into the news. Let's start with this tweet on your screen from Jeff Steiner at the Washington Post. The US Chamber of Commerce says that the infrastructure spending should be paid for by the users who benefit from the investment. So folks, what the US Chamber of Commerce is saying is that you should pay for infrastructure. And the US Chamber of Commerce is saying that businesses targeted for tax hikes under the Biden infrastructure plan should not have to pay for this. In fact, the business world is divided. Here's the headline of an article from CNBC. Business world divided on whether to fight the corporate tax hike in Biden's infrastructure plan. They're starting to wrap their heads around this, and they are wondering whether they should oppose this because the infrastructure plan is very popular. If they oppose this, they could risk losing public support, because that's what corporate CEOs also have to take into consideration. And this entire infrastructure plan gives us a lot of visibility into President Biden's thinking. Here's an interesting article on your screen from CNN. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Infrastructure was a Trump punchline, but it is a window into Biden's soul. Former President Trump never did an infrastructure package. In fact, he released a statement criticizing the infrastructure package. But as far as President Biden is concerned, for him, the infrastructure package is an important way for America to compete and dominate the next global economy, the post-pandemic economy, instead of competitors like China. So the big question is this a generational reorganization of America's economy, or is this simply a matter of timing? Here's an interesting quote from President Biden. He said this at a White House press conference. He said, "Successful presidents better than me have been successful in large part because they know how to time what they're doing." Folks, politics is about timing. It's about opportunity, it's about tribalism, and it's about perception. And this is clearly the need of the hour. Here's another article on your screen from CNN. The cost to fix America's crumbling infrastructure, nearly $2.6 trillion, according to engineers who will participate in the re-engineering of America's bridges, roads, and pretty much the entire country. And as all this is happening, early opposition is already beginning from the Republicans. Here's a tweet on your screen from Carl Quintanilla from CNBC. US Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he's not likely to support President Biden's infrastructure plan due to massive tax increases and the potential impact on the national debt. Here's a new article from the New York Times. Biden details a $2 trillion plan to rebuild infrastructure and reshape the economy. Now, the thing that really jumped out to me from this article was the fact that spending through the infrastructure proposal would take place over 8 years. And this is the part that really jumped out at me from the New York Times article. But even spread over years, 8 years in this case, the scale of the proposal underscores how fully President Biden has embraced the opportunity to use federal spending to address long-standing social and economic challenges in a way not seen in half a century. Officials said that if approved, the spending in the plan would end decades of stagnation in federal investment in research and infrastructure and would return government investment in those areas as a share of the economy to its highest level since the 1960s. In other words, we're talking about an involvement from the government in the economy not seen for over 60 years. Here's a Washington Post article. White House unveils $2 trillion infrastructure and climate plan, setting up a giant battle over the size and the cost of government. And some initial details have already been released. Let me give you some of these incredible bold details. According to initial reporting from the Washington Post, this plan will enable drivers across the country to find electric charging stations for their vehicles on the road. Every lead pipe in the country would be replaced. All Americans would have access to high-speed internet broadband by the end of the decade. As many as 2 million homes and housing units would be built, retrofitted, or renovated in order to essentially be more climate friendly. And so the big question is, what exactly is in President Biden's infrastructure plan? In the most detailed look I have seen yet in a news organization, this article on your screen, published by the New York Times, has a headline, "What's in Biden's infrastructure plan?" Let's take a closer look with some incredible charts from this article, and you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Let's start by taking a look at the transportation component. Modernize 20,000 miles of highways and roads, repair 10,000 bridges, and by 2030, build a network of 500,000 electric vehicle chargers. Take a look at the estimated cost in billions. $174 billion for electric vehicle incentives, $115 billion for roads and bridges, $85 billion for public transit, $80 billion for passenger and freight railways, $50 billion for disaster resilience. This will re-engineer America as we know it. As far as buildings are concerned, more than $200 billion in tax credits and grants to build and improve affordable housing. Take a look at this chart on your screen. $213 billion for affordable housing, $100 billion for high-speed broadband, $100 billion for an electrical grid, a modernized electrical grid and clean energy, $100 billion for public schools, $66 billion for clean water for every individual in our country. This is ambitious in its size and scope. And for our viewers and subscribers at Ignition Time, you've heard me talk about this before. I believe that there needs to be a lot of retraining. There needs to be a lot of education to help individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment and hospitality who have been left behind forever. This, for me personally, is the most exciting aspect of this American jobs plan, this new infrastructure plan. And by the way, calling it the American jobs plan is, I believe, a very politically savvy move, because this is designed to create new jobs. This part is the part that I am most excited about: jobs and innovation. The plan goes well beyond physical infrastructure, proposing more than $500 billion in investment in the manufacturing sector, worker training and research and development. This would mean new jobs and retraining. $52 billion towards domestic manufacturing, $50 billion towards the National Science Foundation, $50 billion towards supply chains, $50 billion towards semiconductors, which is important for a future that is going to be dominated by technology and artificial intelligence. Workforce development, $48 billion. This again is the part that I feel has the most potential to help those who've been left behind as a result of this pandemic. That was an outstanding visual breakdown from the New York Times. Here's another article on your screen from the Washington Post. What's in Biden's $2 trillion jobs and infrastructure plan? This, by the way, includes a major focus on climate change, is essentially laying the foundation for the entire economic agenda for the rest of President Biden's term. There's a lot of details to go through, so we'll scroll down this article and we'll provide you with a link to this article in the description section below. $621 billion in infrastructure, and you can see how this is broken down. $115 billion to revamp highways and roads, including 10 major highways and 10,000 smaller bridges in need of reconstruction. It also includes $20 billion to improve road safety, including for cyclists and pedestrians. So that's $621 billion in infrastructure. Let's scroll down the infrastructure component and get to the infrastructure at home component. $650 billion, $213 billion to retrofit and build more than 2 million homes. The plan would build and rehabilitate more than 500,000 homes for low and middle income earners and invest $40 billion to improve public housing. Also, the goal is to deliver universal high-speed broadband internet to more than 35% of rural Americans who currently lack access to high-speed internet, and many other points, as you can see in the infrastructure at home component of $650 billion. Let's move on to the care economy. $400 billion investment in the care economy. It would extend certain Medicaid programs and it would expand access to home or community-based care for seniors and people with disabilities. Folks, this is as massive as it gets. Let's move on to the next segment. $580 billion for research and development, manufacturing and training. This again is the part that I'm most excited about. $180 billion in research and development, a major clean energy push to reduce emissions, build climate resilience and boost climate focused research. Folks, this is going to create new jobs, and this is going to help us not only help our citizens, but lead the way for the rest of the world. This is historic. And if this becomes law, and I do believe this has a high probability of becoming law, I believe that President Biden will go down in history as a historic president who shaped America for the next 100 years. And I believe the rest of the world will follow and start doing things similarly in their economies. And the biggest question, how are we going to pay for all this? Let's show you the tax overhaul component. The corporate income tax rate for corporations is going to go up from 21% to 28%. It was at 35% prior to the Trump administration's tax cuts. This would also increase the global minimum tax paid from 13% to 21%. There's going to be a lot of pushback here, but the bottom line is President Biden is going to push for big corporations and the wealthy to pay for all of this. So let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Please do me a favor. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me personally. That really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some new behind the scenes information, additional details that you're not going to get on traditional news sources, additional details that you're not going to get on other channels. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.